semifinals in March. The loser off to the play-in for Copa America to be played at the end of March. Mike Watts on hand, and we welcome you. 58 degrees as we approach kickoff tonight deep in the heart of Texas. This is what the bracket looks like. Ultimately, you just want to make it into the semifinals. If you do, you've got very important matches, but your place in Copa America as one of the 6 of Concacaf is confirmed. However, if you fail to get through, you'll be reseeded against one of the other 3 losing teams with only 2 spots remaining for Copa America, which comes to American soil next summer. Well, the United States feel like they're in pretty decent form, and with Greg Berhalter back in command, not something that the Americans could say last time they were here at Q2 Stadium for the Gold Cup semifinal against Qatar. They feel like, despite missing some key pieces, this was as good a matchup as they were going to get. After all, this is a team for the United States built up entirely of players based overseas, except for Miles Robinson, who's not in the starting 11 tonight. These are high-quality players, and Angus Eve made no mistake in saying this is a World Cup-tested roster and one that has immense talent of grand distinction. His Trinidad and Tobago side, not quite the case. A number of players featuring in the Trinidadian First Division, 3 players playing in the United States lower divisions, neither the Championship or League One, and a handful of players scattered about the CONCACAF region in Costa Rica and Canada. Can they withstand this U.S. team better than they did at the Gold Cup against arguably a B or a C side where they fell 6-0? Well, we may get an answer pretty quick. Aubrey David captains Trinidad and Tobago on the right. Matt Turner ready to lead the United States onto the field is Tim Ream, preparing to make his 54th appearance for the United States. Takes his spot with the captain's armband affixed to his left bicep at the front of the line to captain this American side. One without Adams or Weah or Pulisic or Long, and still such depth. And tonight, hardly delusions of grandeur. They expect to put the best foot forward before heading to Port of Spain early next week. 6 years on from failing to qualify for Russia, that was essentially the tipping point for the U.S. to bring along this immensely talented young core of talent that's expected to lead all the way to the World Cup on this soil. But the Copa America, a big part of getting there. The United States and Trinidad and Tobago set to meet. The Anthems, followed by the lineups, and kickoff is imminent in Austin.
And now, fans, please remain standing and welcome singer-songwriter Bruna Christina to perform the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held as twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets left, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the whole of them
Beautiful rendition of the United States anthem and, of course, the steel drum-laden anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. Here we go, the quarterfinals of the Concacaf Nations League. A look at the lineup assembled by Greg Berhalter. Reyna up front has 6 goals. Balogun 3 goals in his 6 caps for the team. First start for Kevin Paredes in midfield. McKennie is back from the red card suspension that saw him sit out the final in the last Nations League against Canada. Turner, his 36th cap and goal, and Tim Ream, his 54th at center back, is the most experienced international player on the field for the United States tonight. O'Shane Nation holds the whistle for this game. The 32-year-old Jamaican awaits the captains at midfield. Oversaw the Concacaf League final in 2022. That was the finale of that tournament. Comunicaciones in Motagua has also overseen the Campeones Cup. Columbus over Cruz Azul in 2021. He's a pretty well-known commodity in Nations League. He's already overseen 2 matches in Nations League B to this point. Aubrey David and Tim Ream, center backs both, captaining their sides tonight. There is VAR in this tournament. Drew Fisher of Canada will be assisted by Benjamin Pineda tonight. Greg Berhalter looks on, and here's the lineup that his adversary Angus Eve has put together. Powder, Gomez, and Telfer all feature in the United States for Northern Colorado, San Antonio, and Miami, respectively. Aubrey David, his 77th cap from Cartagenas in Costa Rica. All eyes on Denzel Smith, his 6th international cap. He's the man in gold tonight. The United States looking to defend their title, won twice over. Last year against Canada, the first edition of the tournament over Mexico. But with it, that ticket to Copa America that will essentially set the U.S. up for the next 3 summers between Copa America, the Gold Cup, and the World Cup to be played on U.S. soil. Florian Balogun looks on. Does he add to what's been thus far an impressive, if short, stint with the U.S.? O'Shane Nation. We begin tonight with the United States taking on Trinidad and Tobago, the first of the quarterfinals in the Nations League to be contested. And this tie has a ticket to Copa America on the line. One of the U.S. most prominent foes. Trinidad and Tobago and the United States have met often And the U.S. has dominated the series. 29th all-time meeting. The United States have lost just 4. Of course, the one that still rings true to everybody, the one 6 years ago in 2017, saw the U.S. out of the Russian World Cup. We're also approaching the anniversary of the shot heard around the world, as it's been described in American circles, that brought the U.S. back to the World Cup for the first time in decades. Weston McKennie working off Reyna. Down the line, Robinson. Slip back toward Reyna. He's megged. Robinson recovers. McKennie. Weston McKennie playing Dest. Header across. Balogun. He got held away from the ball. O'Shea Nation had a long look. Play on out toward Telfer. And picked up by McKennie. Robinson. Serginho Dest. Yunus Musa. Reyna. Musa. Dest. Service over Balogun. We'll find Paredes on the backside. And Paredes lost it for a corner. United States 11th ranked team in the FIFA rankings. Greg Berhalter retaking the role for the September friendlies. The U.S. has lost just 1 game this calendar year. It was to Germany. And in the Gold Cup, ousted in penalties by Panama. Reyna delivers. Speared wayward. Anthony Robinson circulates for the U.S. Step by step, Greg Berhalter claims. Begins with these quarterfinals, an attempt to retain the Concacaf Nations League crown. Ream, now Reyna. Dest, Barcelona sending him to PSV on loan most recently. McKennie. Pushed out by Reyna, recovered by McKennie. It's been all the U.S. through 3 minutes. Dest. Pushed away by Andre Raymond. Raymond, one of the few players for Trinidad and Tobago playing overseas across the Atlantic. He's in Portugal. Angus Eve looks on. 51-year-old manager named in 2021. Their most capped player. Ball through for Paredes. Tillman couldn't bring it down. Away from Musa. And a rare exhale for Trinidad and Tobago, as Cameron Carter-Vickers plays back to Turner. 7th ever two-legged series contested by the U.S. national team. Long ball forward, brought down by Dest. Tillman lashed into the stands, and likely the first of many shots tonight. Ream playing the diagonal, and Dest levying off. Malik Tillman's 7th cap, had to withdraw from the October window due to injury for the United States. Window in which Gio Reyna scored a brace against Ghana. Ultimately, with the calendar flipping to November, Greg Berhalter said, now the games count. Raymond, and a spell here for Trinidad and Tobago. Rampersad. Paredes is hunting. Shaw. Taken away by Carter-Vickers. Tim Ream. Still at Fulham. Sit equidistant between the Premiership and the Championship in his tenure there. And the first whistle from O'Shea Nation. Reyna. Musa has a chance to become the most capped under-21 player in the history of the U.S. national team if he features in both these games. Already he's started more games than anyone in a U.S. shirt who isn't legally allowed to have a drink in the country. Dest. I have a feeling it's going to be a long night for Andre Raymond out there. Weston McKennie. Reyna. Sizing up Phillips. Outside Dest. Dest! Lifted out by Smith. Corner, United States. Good opening salvo for the club Sando man, 24-year-old goalkeeper. Reyna offering. Kept away from Robinson, but retained by the United States. Reyna. Seeking the backside for Balogun, comes down to Weston McKennie. Put a charge in it, Ream. It's been fish in a barrel for the U.S. thus far. Can they cash in? It's Reyna. Tillman sending Balogun. Another set piece for Reyna in the U.S. 8 minutes of unrelenting possession. Quick played in, blasted, Paredes no, still it's Robinson. Carried out by Noah Powder. And Ream collides. Banged off the heel, Balogun. And then Andre Rampersad trying to get out. Here's the high line of Tim Ream. Justin Garcia scored the winner against El Salvador. U.S. were a seeded team, no group stage for them. Good ball. Reyna found Paredes. Whisked away, Reyna pursuing out toward Ream. Pumps it forward once more, McKennie. And Ream settles. Robinson. McKennie. Paredes targeted again. He's been quite aggressive getting forward out of the midfield, and he's helped win a corner off of Alvin Jones. Tenth minute. And Giovanni Reyna to take the corner for the United States. Reyna offering, first ball's away. Paredes pursuing, circling Musa. McKennie. Reyna. Weston McKennie. Bouncing toward the penalty area, it's McKennie once more. Look at how high Ream is playing. It's a full 15 yards beyond the halfway line. Trinidad and Tobago have done nothing to dissuade them. Won by Garcia. Musa. Dest. McKenney. Reyna. Musa. Serginho Dest. Tillman. McKenney. Reyna. Robinson cuts in on his right. Robinson slowed it. Musa, now McKenney. Got forced away by Telfer. Tillman helped to tap it outside. Dest. Paredes. A probing United States side. Reyna. Reyna looks for the back post, knocked down Tillman, and recovered by Smith. Tillman yet to score with the U.S. Extended by Bayern through 2026. Currently on loan in the Netherlands at PSV. Shannon Gomez. Here's Ream. Jedi. Now Paredes. McKenney. Gomez. Under immense pressure. Well, this is what you expect from Giovanni Reyna, isn't it? Spotted that run at the backside from Malik Tillman. Reyna, once again contemplative. That's going to get by Balogun. Phillips. Carter Vickers shrugging off Malcolm Shaw. If you're Trinidad and Tobago, you're just trying to keep this in front of you. This is a level of talent that you do not see with any kind of consistency. Even the teams that have gone to the Gold Cup in recent years that they've seen, with the advent of the Nations League, we've seen far fewer of the very top players for the U.S. and Mexico choose to feature in Gold Cup instead of the Nations League, in part because of its month-long window during the summer. Lines up with the international offseason, as opposed to a couple of weeks, like most recently in Vegas. Doesn't take a lot to entice a young team to go spend a week or two in Las Vegas. Even the Canadian goalkeeper, Milan Borjan, reminded the team in the huddle after they won their semifinal in the last Nations League, hey, let's make sure we get back to the hotel tonight. Outside by Musa, there's Dest advancing. Powder has won the U.S. second division, the championship, on previous occasion. Actually done it multiple times. Quarter hour gone tonight in Austin. And Paredes tangled up with Alvin Jones. The U.S. right now hold 83% of the ball. Here's the foul from Jones. Usurps Kevin Paredes. Trinidad and Tobago have attempted just 29 passes and completed merely 68%. Ream, Balogun, the options are numerous. Paredes won the free kick, so Reyna will take it. Reyna playing Paredes. Paredes. Ball navigates back to Smith. There's an element of this U.S. crowd that feels a bit pensive right now. Like one goal would really light this candle. There's Denzel Smith. You know, Levi Garcia was the one who coaxed him into playing goalkeeper back in primary school. Otherwise, who knows whether he'd make the national team. Certainly wouldn't have been a goalkeeper. Cameron Carter-Vickers suffers the foul. Battling with Malcolm Shaw, who's been really the only attempted outlet. McKennie. Famously, his shirt ripped off in an altercation against Mexico, sent off of that game. Unable to feature in the final that saw the U.S. unseat Canada. Inside from Robinson, Balogun the target, ripped away by Trinidad and Tobago. Held up by Shaw, and now Rampersad. Trying to spin free, not to be. Notably, Levi Garcia is on the bench to start tonight. Arguably their most notable player, Trinidad and Tobago. No powder to be looked at, but more importantly, is he about to get insult to injury? And that twisting challenge. Well, the argument here from Powder simply is he's trying to spin over the ball and McKennie gets in the way. McKennie will say, look at my foot. Powder spent significant time in the second division in the U.S. Now featuring for Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Who, shown some exceedingly bright moments in their earliest days. McKennie's back up. McKennie, fresh off that knock, upright once more. There's McKennie. Anthony Robinson. U.S. dominating the ball in the early going. That's a rare miscue recovered by Andre Raymond. Trinidad and Tobago have had a nice calendar year themselves. 8 wins, 3 losses, a couple of draws, obviously advancing to this point by getting out of their Nations League Group A group with El Salvador, Guatemala, Curacao, their opponents. Robinson, blazing, turning away from Telfer. McKennie seeking Dest, only to see Smith soar to the occasion. Ream collides and wins the ball off Rampersad. Reyna looking for Robinson. Well done by Aubrey David. Inside from Gomez, taken back by the United States. Reyna reaches back, recovers. Musa. Carter Vickers. All 10 field players beyond the halfway line for the United States trying to take apart this Trinidadian block. Robinson. Musa. Raymond closing down Dest inside Tillman. Dest. Return to Musa, intercepted. Shaw. Carter Vickers took it back. The U.S. Robinson. Ahead for Balogun. Back now Paredes, and flicked over by Tillman. '21-year-old Nuremberg native. Off the mark. You know, Greg Berhalter spent so much of the last 6 months since being reinstated following an elongated investigation. His contract expired during that time. One of the more dramatic sequences in the history of the United States national team. Retakes the job, going overseas, seeing these players where they lie for their domestic competitions. Balogun. Now Dest, Tillman. Real estate. There have been some relationships to be repaired, some dating back decades, but even World Cup decisions left a number of players, as you'd imagine, a rancored mood. A throw for Trinidad and Tobago, and they're about to walk this ball potentially into the attacking half, and Raymond plays backwards. Paredes chasing it, Aubrey David. Feel for Shaw. This is going to be a difficult evening with a hold-up 9. Tillman turned it over to Ryan Telfer. Doesn't play for Inter Miami, rather Miami FC. The in-town second division side, the team that Lionel Messi decided to call his new home. Rare incursion into the attacking half, and now down the line. As intriguing a moment as Trinidad and Tobago's mustered in 25 minutes. Aubrey David now, 33-year-old from Guyana. Did cap with them once, but now his 78th appearance for Trinidad and Tobago. He is their most capped man on this roster. Play by Smith. For so many years, it was Marvin Phillip in goal for Trinidad and Tobago. They brought with them less than a dozen goalkeeper caps. Phillip close to 100. Left out of the team. Telfer. Rampersad from Shaw. Paredes got a piece, not all of it. Thrust through, Ream, McKenny, that fire extinguished. Musa, room to run. McKenny. Robinson playing through Paredes perfectly. Did that stay in? It did not. I remember when Paredes first came up in the DC United organization, got loaned to Loudoun United, Ryan Martin, and that was the right call. It did eclipse the line. Spoke so highly of a guy that only ended up playing 4 games, what at the time essentially was the United reserve team. 41 games at DC United, and then Wolfsburg arrived to offer a reported $7 million plus for the young player. The 20-year-old starting tonight for the first time. Away from Reyna, David. Ream trying to keep it away from Shaw. Pressure arriving for Powder and belongs to Musa. McKenny, Balogun twisting on Aubrey David. Did just enough to get it away. Robinson corrals, Robinson! That's one of the very few times tonight Trinidad and Tobago has not been entirely compact. And the United States have all the ball you want, still without a shot on target. At no point did they make it seem like this was going to be the same 6-0 score line of a laugher that you had. Add in the fact that this isn't like it was over the summer, a group stage Gold Cup game where whatever happens, happens. If you end up falling tonight here in Austin and have to go to Port of Spain, there's going to be a lot of ghosts in that building, one would imagine. The two-legged nature of this just gives it an entirely different feel, even if it is largely the same Trinidadian team. Robinson playing McKenny. Dest stridently into the final third, leading through Tillman. David to the rescue. Corner for the Americans. Two assists against Canada in the Nations League finals. Gio Reyna. Reyna offering. That is away. That is Dest. Bouncing through. Tillman tight angle. Offside. They allowed that to play through. And unlike other elements of Nations League, they do have VAR should they have needed it. In this instance, they had it right on. Kenny sends back to Cameron Carter-Vickers, who continues at Celtic in Scotland. Robinson. Robinson, that's high for Balogun. Tillman pursues at the half-hour mark. Dest. Reyna. Tillman looking for Balogun, siphoned off by Smith. Have to imagine Angus Eve had a pretty similar message, what he said at the Gold Cup. destiny is in our own hands. We put our best foot forward, the result will take care of itself. It might be a tad lofty, that aspiration, and yet scoreless still. Poked off of Dest, and Reyna had started to recover. Instead, belongs to Trinidad and Tobago. As brief a respite as this might be in possession, the U.S. are buzzing to win the ball back. Taken on by Telfer. Muscled off by Paredes, and a foul. Telfer. Guided back by Paredes. Pressure from Reyna. Slip it off Rampersad. Throw for Alvin Jones. It was his goal in World Cup qualifying that ousted the U.S. at the Otto Bolden Stadium. That was October the 10th, 2017. Kelvin Jones, his dad, Jovan Jones, his brother. Plenty of experience playing around this U.S. team. Angus Eve looks on. Retired in 2006. Here he is about 17 years later with a contract through March that'll see him through whatever happens, whether they go to the play-in or the Nations League semifinals. His deal will run through then. What lies after that for Trinidad and Tobago, one would imagine results over the next 6 months will dictate. Carter Vickers. Serginho Dest. Weston McKennie angling outside. Rampersad followed him. McKennie. Reyna. Left off by Tillman. As far as Ream. Robinson. Reyna. Got pushed from all angles. Free kick, USA. Reyna. McKennie. These are problems Emma Hayes is going to have to worry about. The low block. And it's gone wayward. Raymond won a free kick for Trinidad and Tobago. It's like saying Trinidad and Tobago won a gasp of fresh air. Seemingly underwater, and yet they really haven't given up anything of real substance yet. McKennie. Carter Vickers. Like this right side. Raymond's largely been up to it. Rampersad chasing. Rampersad trying to get that line to come forward. They do that at their own detriment. Musa. Dest. Away from Balogun. Pressure from Robinson, cracking at the ankle of Shannon Gomez. Passes are kind of a funny stat, but 36 minutes into this match, Trinidad and Tobago are about to attempt their 100th. United States 280. Round through, but ultimately not by the goalkeeper yet. Field from Jones, Telfer. Rampersad chips in, Ream down to Robinson, the return. McKenny. McKenny got chopped up by Noah Powders on a yellow card. And Noah Powder has put himself squarely in the crosshairs of the referee O'Shea Nation. He won't get warned again. Nope, he's gone. Noah Powder sent off for a second yellow. And Trinidad will have to do this with 10. He's beaten, he doesn't get any of the ball, and he certainly got plenty of the player. From that first angle, it looked like he didn't get the ball at all. And Noah Powder, who's spent his entire career playing in the U.S., he's eligible for Trinidad and Tobago through his dad. He's from Edison, New Jersey, is sent off for a second yellow. The 38th minute. Came up through the Red Bull Academy and has cycled through Orange County and RSL, Indianapolis and Tulsa before landing in Colorado with the hailstorm. Well, now he's headed to the locker room. Trinidad down to 10. Robinson through, Balogun pursuing. There is the new star of this show, Denzel Smith. Yunus Musa brings it forward for the United States, seeking their 5th Copa America appearance, first since the Centenario, in which they placed 4th. McKenny, Dast! One back by Paredes. David says he's innocent. He is. And O'Shea Nation more worried about the injuries that came with it. Paredes being attended to. Well, it's every coach's worst nightmare. Greg Berhalter calling to Giovanni Reyna. This is a really important moment for both teams. It's about 5 minutes after Powder got sent off. Try and rearrange things a little bit. Shaw. Dest. Ream. Musa. Serginho Dest leading Tillman. Tillman waits, cuts back. Had the run of Reyna, but usurped. Daniel Phillips. Kenny Balogun bounces out Robinson. Reyna missed the back heel of a flailing Balogun. Balogun got a piece. That's going to be a goal kick for Trinidad and Tobago. I'm sure that'll get captioned a bit. Know is that Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru, Uruguay, and Venezuela, the 10 CONMEBOL teams, are into the upcoming Copa America. Paredes showing a bit of wear. As it relates to Nations League A and the remaining 6 slots in the 16-team tournament, as Ream circumvents the run of Ryan Telfer, springs the U.S. ahead. Costa Rica, Panama play later tonight. Jamaica, Canada, Honduras, Mexico begin their 2-legged series tomorrow. 4 winners are through, and the remaining 4 go to the play-in against one another for the final 2 slots. Dest. Cameron Carter-Vickers, now Reyna. Balogun, Reyna. Robinson. Reyna. Musa. Musa. Tillman. Seeking Musa once more. There's Smith. Approaching first half stoppage time. Offside flag raised. 3 added minutes. Dest. Ream. This is as compact a team as you'll find. Trinidad and Tobago slink back in for another American barrage. Reyna couldn't slip for Balogun. Free kick won by Alvin Jones. Ream. Give and go with Andre Raymond. Taken back by the U.S. White shirt scurrying back into position. McKenny. Robinson darting down the line. Robinson crossing. Smith yanks it in behind Balogun. Finally, Robinson at full speed, able to bore down on Trinidad and Tobago. The offside flag raised on Shaw again. Tillman, maybe one final chance in this first half for the U.S. to break the deadlock. It's McKenny. Robinson, down the line, Paredes. Trying to go back inside, Jones. Paredes, that was kept in on the line. And now a goal kick conceded. And halftime arrives in Austin. Well, Trinidad and Tobago came with a clear game plan. They have suffered a lot, but they have not allowed a shot on target despite conceding 3/4 of the ball. It has not gotten within a country mile of Matt Turner either. At halftime in the first leg of this quarterfinal in the Concacaf Nations League, United States 0, Trinidad and Tobago 0.
could all come out together, but somebody out here. Hold on. Wait.
Q2 Stadium in Austin, Trinidad and Tobago visiting the United States. This, the opening of the quarterfinals in Concacaf Nations League. Michael Murillo just scored an absolute stunning free kick for Panama to take a 1-0 lead on Costa Rica moments ago. The winners in these 4 two-legged affairs advance to the Copa America. They advance to the upcoming Nations League finals. The losers will ultimately play one another in a play-in in Frisco on March the 23rd. That's a long, long way away. The United States heavily anticipated in this Nations League, trying to win it for a 3rd time in as many tries. You see Neville Hackshaw. He will come into the game, the Oakland Roots player who features in the American 2nd Division. He'll replace Ryan Telfer, whose role in this game really dictated by the red card suffered in the 38th by Noah Powder to be quite different. There's the whistle. On to the second half here in Austin. Trinidad and Tobago down to 10. And the United States, despite all of the ball in the first half, trying to break through here against Trinidad and Tobago. It's the only change for either team. U.S. getting into the final third. Maybe there's more here. Paredes finally denied by Alvin Jones. That started to become a little too much of an open window for the U.S. right out of the halftime break. Trinidad and Tobago advancing the quarterfinals out of Group A, 2 6-team divisions with the top 4 seeds already dictated through to the quarters. Robinson bangs that off of Jones, corner. Panama and Trinidad and Tobago got out of that group. Martinique and Guatemala stayed up. Curacao and El Salvador, who went winless, relegated to the upcoming League B. Corner for the United States. As soon as O'Shea Nation finds himself satisfied, he pulls Tillman and David aside. That halftime sub also provides a little more size. Neville Hackshaw right in the center of the mixer. Reyna away by Rampersad. Carter Vickers, Tillman. Tillman, 7th cap for the U.S. You can see Aronson getting warm. We could see 2 Aronsons in this game. Paxton, the 20-year-old, but Brendan Aronson's been around this team for quite some time. Relegated at Leeds, on to Union Berlin this year. Musa, now Serginho Dest. Musa. Dest. Even a draw here for Trinidad and Tobago would feel like a win. The chance to go back to Port of Spain, recreate the magic of 6 years ago for a place in Copa America. Who wouldn't sign up for that? Ball lined across, cleared away by Raymond. At the feet of Phillips. Retained by Ream, and back from Musa to Carter Vickers. In toward Reyna, falls toward Balogun. David. Reyna. McKenney. Robinson. Falls Dest. Didn't get it right. Dest fell out of favor at Milan. It was always unlikely that he'd end up back at Barcelona, so he's on to the Netherlands. And a critical assist against Iran. Group stage at the World Cup in Qatar. Reyna. McKenney. There is obvious distress building here. Musa, Reyna. No Adams, no Weah, no Pulisic, no Long. Some major pieces for the U.S. Especially to try and break down this low block. It's Dest. Ball clipped back toward goal by Robinson and out. Backshaw. Ream got bended. Quick restart. Robinson. Reyna. Dest. Angling inward. Toward Cameron Carter-Vickers. Musa, now Reyna. Runs percolating. Reyna didn't like the look from Robinson cutting across. Ream. McKenny. Balogun. Held off by David. Robinson. Paredes. Surveys. Ream, now Carter-Vickers. Dest. Turn from Tillman. Musa. Backside header. Second does the job. Settled by McKenny. Through for Tillman. Smith. Trinidad and Tobago down to 10, defending for their lives. Reyna. Reyna scoops across. Tillman at Smith. Well, you can certainly see how Reyna can break a team down. He's had a couple really creative ideas. The U.S. simply start up again. Shaw wasn't able to hold it up. Balogun. Musa. Dest. Dest! Seeking Tillman or Balogun. Raymond. Reyna. Kenny kept it moving. Anthony Robinson. Reyna spins. Reyna at Smith. Didn't quite get it on the first try. Spins around. Still found a way to put it on target. McKenny, Reyna allows through Balogun. Balogun. U.S. trying to loosen this thing up a little bit. At least they've put a couple more on frame. Drops into Dest. Dest trying to get end line, and with a ricochet, falls from Garcia into the waiting mitts of Smith. Concacaf announcing just a couple days ago, the Nations League finals will be played in Dallas. Semis March the 21st. Final in the third place match will come on Sunday, March the 24th. At AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Musa. Dest. course, the play-ins will be played between the two on Saturday, March the 23rd. Those will be in Frisco. Musa. Many slated Trinidad and Tobago for those. Still, the U.S. can't break through. McKennie. Musa. There is an opening. Musa! Save! Denzel Smith. Musa lit a match on that. A laser beam that Smith is able to deflect wide. Can Reyna break the deadlock? Header backside. Ream perilously close. What a save from Denzel Smith. We've gotten to the point where the referee starting to make clear this amount of time wasting will not be celebrated here. And they are reviewing for a potential handball potentially as well. So they've stopped play for the moment. Drew Fisher of Canada is the voice in O'Shea Nation's here. Nothing to see here. Play on. The Trinidadian players thought so too, that the ball had been released, and O'Shea Nation grew frustrated and potential time wasting, it appeared. Not the case. Andre Rampersad playing for Halifax in the Canadian Premier League. First called in 2021, but he couldn't leave Canada to do it due to the COVID restrictions. He's been a pretty regular feature in the time since he's gotten in. Wasn't really much of a soccer player until he was about a dozen years old. He was really a cricketer. There's the potential handball on the header from Ream. Shaw. A whole fistful of Carter Vickers' jersey. Here's another look. Did that get the arm? Did it get his head? Anywho. U.S. angling into the final third. Paredes. Robinson toward McKennie. It is a penalty. And the U.S. will go to the spot at the hour mark to grab the lead. Finally, Trinidad and Tobago opened themselves up just a bit. Daniel Phillips into the legs of Weston McKennie. Former Watford Academy product featuring in Scotland at St. Johnstone. Take another look here. Watch how McKennie sort of bounces into position on the cross in from Robinson. And you would think it's going to be looked at. It is. He's given the signal. This will be reviewed. So Drew Fisher and Benjamin Pineda in the VAR room deem this worthy of taking another glance. And O'Shea Nation goes down by the tunnel and will take a look. So he goes in, he does get the ball in the end, but how much of McKennie did he get first? Certainly they want to give O'Shea Nation every chance to look at it. And we're talking about, those are milliseconds that they're moving the tape. It really does look like he may have gotten to that ball before McKenny did. But taking out his back leg as he does, certainly what the referee saw from his vantage point in real time. What you're seeing is precisely the official was looking at. O'Shea Nation, a match-changing decision. No penalty. Drop ball, play on. Daniel Phillips, exuberant. And the United States search for the go-ahead will continue. McKenny has really gotten run up on tonight. That's, of course, a bit par for the course. Away, Tillman, Robinson, looking for Balogun, just has not put himself in position tonight, or perhaps better put, the United States have not put him in possession in positions in which to be truly dangerous. The unfortunate happenstance for a striker facing a block this low. Dest juts inside. McKenny puts that up, falls. Paredes! Called in August for Uzbekistan and Oman. A Virginia native in his first start. There is a slew of subs set to join with about 25 minutes remaining tonight. They'll play in Port of Spain in 4 days' time on Monday night. Dest. Ball across, Reyna. Stumbles through. There are changes to be made. They've stopped play here. The U.S. going to the bench for the first time. That is it for Kevin Paredes. Goes 65 minutes in his first start. Brendan Aronson replaces him, the Union Berlin man. And Malik Tillman's day is done. And they brought on a second striker here in Ricardo Pepi, the Concacaf killer. That is the danger man. It always was for Trinidad and Tobago, and they've saved him for the final 25 minutes. Malcolm Shaw off, Levi Garcia on. Missed the last four, the entire group stage of Nations League due to injury. Jesse Williams replaces Andre Rampersad. Certainly gave all he could tonight. Musa. Aronson, Robinson, McKenny. Seeking out Dest. Ball recovered successfully by Raymond. Garcia. What a run he's had with Matias Almeida as manager at AEK in Athens. Nearly a goal every other game. Actually spent time playing for the former U.S. men's national team general manager Ernie Stewart at AZ. Of course, Ernie Stewart has gone on to PSV, where he's accumulated quite the number of American talents. A number of them on loan. "67 minutes complete in the first leg of the quarterfinals in Austin. Gio Reyna, Pepe, that was his first touch. McKennie, Reyna, Aronson! Haven't come much closer than that tonight, the U.S. Tim Ream, 36-year-old center back from St. Louis. Reyna. Pepe. Dast. Halligan pursuing. Sent away by Raymond. And Leva Garcia at the back of Carter Vickers. And wouldn't you believe it, Matt Turner will in fact touch the ball tonight. That's about all he's had to do this evening. Off the top of my head, I really can't remember him touching the ball at any other point. Reyna. Dast. Dast serving for Pepe. Hackshaw. Dast. Balogun whiffed. Still alive. Aronson. Corner. Well, heavy's the head that wears the crown. Such the case for the United States. Back-to-back Nations League champions, swarming for a goal now for the better part of 70 minutes. 8 United States corners tonight. Is this the one? It's not. Trinidad and Tobago, they qualified for the World Cup in '06. They've been on the biggest stage, but it's been a while. Aronson, Robinson, Musa, McKennie for Pepe. Not even a glancing blow. The player brought in by PSV and Ernie Stewart from Augsburg. They've been linked there over the summer. At the time the U.S. featured in Nations League and Gold Cup. Obviously the deal got done. Reyna. Robinson, Pepe. Ricardo Pepe continues, ball away. Pepe pursuing, and he's brought down, the Trinidadian defender. Pepe's come with his trademark energy. And Alvin Jones licking his wounds. Costa Rica and Panama kicking off their quarterfinal tonight as well. Jamaica and Canada and Honduras and Mexico will play tomorrow the first legs. The U.S. will go to Trinidad and Port of Spain on Monday for the return leg. Can they find a lead before they get there? Or does Trinidad and Tobago see this out down to 10 for nearly an hour? Balogun. Balogun! Referee wagging his finger says no. The other quarterfinal tonight, there have been goals. Costa Rica is down 2-0. Murillo, 4th minute free kick. Jose Fajardo at the half-hour mark. The U.S. have been stymied all night long. McKennie, Dest, Serginho Dest, Dest! Smith knocks it down, away by Raymond. And Smith grabbing at his legs, he's come up a bit lame. $15 shots to 0, 80% possession. That's Balogun claiming a penalty. And here's Dest hammering this with his left, and Smith coming down awkwardly right on his behind, right on that hip. And he's having that attended to with about a quarter hour to play. Angus Eve said, we're in Nations League A. We maintained our position. We're going to play with our hearts and see where that takes us. They lost to the United States 6-0 in Charlotte back on July the 2nd. Jesus Ferreira hat trick, Cowell, Busio, and Vasquez scoring in that Gold Cup group stage game as well. They don't need a second goalkeeper. Smith will stay on. Rattles away from Dest. Hackshaw, Garcia. Clean tackle by Carter Vickers. Robinson, Balogun. Balogun blocked. And with Garcia back to his feet, there's another player that was down. That's Andre Raymond. And that's left the crowd here in Austin incensed. Does take it right on the top of his right boot from Serginho Dest, inadvertent as it was. 15 minutes to play, and the U.S. cannot break through. Trinidad and Tobago, they've been compact. They've blocked everything. Smith has come up with 2 or 3 important interventions. Raymond's back up. The chorus of about 20,000 boos. U.S. lead 21-3-4 all time. A series that dates to 1982. And you know, Angus Eve admitted, I don't think a lot of people, he said, back home understand the importance of this Foley. This would bring so much to Trinidad and Tobago football. Raymond remains on the sideline for the moment. Carter Vickers O'Shea Nation welcomes him back onto the field. Raymond has returned. Aronson. Robinson shimmied off the ball by Lee Him. Free kick. Christian Lee Him, a Swedish 4th division product, comes from Toronto, Ontario, did play in the U.S. collegiately at Appalachian State and then at Buffalo before turning up overseas in Slovenia and Germany. But Sweden was one of the only leagues that was still up during COVID. That led him there, and he's stuck ever since. Trinidad and Tobago trying to make a night of it. They do not have a shot, and yet the U.S. still without their goal. Dest hangs it up for Aronson. Recovered by Aronson. Musa, now Reyna. Pushed off by Hackshaw. McKenny. McKenny allowed through. Robinson, Aronson, Balogun, Pepe. Pulled in by Smith. Musa stepping out of the way, changing the angle of this a bit. Pepe was in an offside position at the end of it too. And that's ultimately what drew the flag. You got to feel for Levi Garcia. This is not his kind of night. Raising his arms. Weston McKennie into Reyna. Robinson circumnavigating. Robinson bouncing. Dest crossing back. Up and away by Lee Him. Down to Dest by McKennie. Dest, header, wide from Aronson. Not without chances, the U.S. Trinidad and Tobago just create one opportunity here. Garcia's just the man you want. Garcia may do it all on his own. Finally, he's stopped. Raymond, the return from Garcia, not on the same page. Aronson, now Musa. Dest. Musa toward Pepe. There's Hackshaw. Garcia. Aronson stripped him. Dest came in for it. Balogun. Balogun blocked. Down off Justin Garcia. There's the whistle. The U.S. have not lost a two-legged series of any kind since 1970 World Cup qualifying against Haiti. 53 years. Make no mistake, the U.S. going to Trinidad on Monday, they'll be favored then too. But they're leaving this wide open to interpretation, and Trinidad and Tobago have laid it all on the line tonight. Robinson, full speed, crossing for Balogun, away by Garcia, down by Reyna. Robinson. Pepe! Oh, how'd he do that? From an insane angle, Finally, the breakthrough! The Concacaf killer strikes again, and the train is right back on track. Finally, the U.S. have their answer. Garcia got it away. Robinson once more. Off the outstretched Smith. And Pepe got some kind of clever touch off his heel, off of Smith and in. And Pepe, whose star rose in this Lone Star State of Texas at Dallas, sees his 82nd minute goal to go ahead. Aronson crossing for Pepe. Hackshaw. Can Trinidad Tobago take anything from this night? Dast. Oh no. Reyna hobbled. Dast. And the front running Pepe cutting across. Reyna trying to win it back. Comes to Levi Garcia. '84th minute in Austin. Dast. Trying to get end line. Will accept a corner for all that hard work. Quick restart through Reyna. Dast. Notably, away goals do count for more. If Trinidad finds a goal here, it will drastically change the arithmetic. Reyna. Reyna tees that up toward Balogun. Away. Robinson! Simply stunning! What a remarkable American goal! Like a Jedi mind trick, the United States lead Trinidad and Tobago 2-0. All these second balls for the United States to try and get a piece of. It was literally a Jedi, mind trick. Appeared to hit off the head of Alvin Jones. Turner collects. And the U.S. suddenly have a lot to feel good about. The Copa America is within reach. The Nations League finals are within reach. Trinidad and Tobago, 80 minutes rock solid. The second leg in Port of Spain. If the U.S. get a goal there, it'd essentially be equivalent to being up 4-0. Musa, back, Pepe! Could you have imagined? Caught by Smith. Dast. Reyna. Aronson. Robinson. Balogun! .22 shots to none, 600 passes to 200. In the end, it could have been a very wasteful night for the United States. Instead, they've ultimately gotten exactly what they theoretically deserved. Balogun, Reyna! A third! They grab complete control of the tie in the final 10 minutes with Trinidad down to 10 men. Balogun levies off, and Reyna's goal-scoring form for the United States continues. Trinidad and Tobago completely zipped open in the final 10 minutes. Dagger inserted. And Giovanni Reyna smashes home yet another, as he did against Ghana in October. And Greg Berhalter's men appear poised to reach the Copa America. It took a while. Trinidad and Tobago made none of this easy. The elongated stoppage. Six added minutes to Greg Berhalter's utter dismay. We have gotten some great coach reacts tonight. Onward. Raymond. Take it away, Pepe. That is a yellow to Hackshaw. It's one way to limit the damage. Kind of getting to the point where that's all that's left to be done tonight. Robinson. Aronson. Balogun. Oh, Garcia came on with about 25 minutes to play. Garcia. Raymond. Turner. Clasps and quickly distributes to Reyna. Reyna forward. Balogun. Pump the brakes. Balogun. He's staring back to O'Shea Nation. No whistle. Play on. Dest. Balogun remains down. Musa. Musa. Carter Vickers. There's Reyna. West of McKenney. McKenney. Smith. Halfway through stoppage. Well, it was Jesus Ferreira with a first half hat trick last time these teams met. Put it completely out of reach before we had ever truly, really begun. Tonight, Trinidad and Tobago stand tall for 80 excruciating minutes. And Pepe in the 82nd, Anthony Robinson in the 86th. And Gio Reyna in the 89th. Put Trinidad and Tobago to the sword. Set piece, if you can get a road goal here, never say never. Although that never had a chance. Plucked in by Turner. U.S. don't seem done yet. Balogun. Reyna. Ball burst away. The U.S. have now scored 47 goals in 17 games this calendar year. Dest. Dest. Smith. Bouncing into Pepe. It took a while, but patience is a virtue. The United States garnered 3 goals in the final 10 minutes before stoppage time and largely able to put this in neutral at the end. Garcia, advantage played. Able to connect with Lee Him. And if they choose, that should take it to the finish line. Up next, a trip to the port of Spain, the Trinidadian capital. Greg Berhalter said it's always in our minds. It's the first American visit since they were ousted from the World Cup qualifiers by Trinidad and Tobago in 2017. Dest. Since then, the U.S. now 4-0-0 against Trinidad and Tobago. They've outscored them 22-0. The United States, an outburst in the final 10 minutes. Pepe, the substitute. Robinson from long range. And Giovanni Reyna from Balogun in the 89th. And the U.S. all but secure their place in the finals and the Copa America. They'll go to the Port of Spain to ensure it. For our entire team at home and abroad, Mike Watts saying thanks for watching the Concacaf Nations League, and we'll talk to you again on Monday night. So long.